Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for June the 1st through the 7th, 2020. So before we begin, I'd just like to make a few announcements. In terms of the angel readings, if you're still looking for an angel reading, as I've been indicating and suggesting that the $77 half-hour reading would probably continue through the coronavirus shutdown. So that's been extended from May now into June. And so just please note that the way to receive this special offer is that you have to go on my website at theangelschool.com, and on the services page you would just select the $77 half hour angel reading price. There's no special button for this, so you just have to select that, and you will receive that as a special offer for an hour instead of a half hour. And so I will send an email within 24 hours on business days, okay? So I like to have my weekends because I do the recordings and some other things. So I gotta have my days off. So I will get back to you after the weekend for sure. And you should probably look to schedule not the week that you place the order, but probably the following 2 weeks afterwards. So just to be aware of that. And let's see. Yeah, and so all correspondences will be handled by email, and I will, as far as setting up the appointment, and I will send instructions in the email about that. The reading itself will be conducted by phone. I can use Skype voice. I don't use the video for these readings because I find that if I look at someone, then I'm picking up on those cues, and it's very interesting for me right now at this point in my experience of reading that the physical cues are a distraction for me. And for me, it's better to get to know you energetically for the reading and give you that insight. Okay, so I think that's it. That's the only thing they were showing me was to make that announcement for COVID. So let's take a deep breath. Oh, and I know there's one other thing. This is something new I'm trying for this month. I will be posting angel readings that are less than 10 minutes for each zodiac sign. So I'm calling this Angel Scope for the month of June. And there will be 12 different readings for a general reading for each zodiac sign for the month of June 2020. So hope that you will be able to discover those and check those out, and let me know what you feel. I'm a little nervous about doing them, but anyway, let's see how it goes and see what your feedback is about it. All right, so let's take a deep breath together. And then just really relax and let go of everything that's on your mind and release any hardship that's possibly blocking your heart. And just set aside this time and this moment and this space for renewal and awareness with your inner being, your inner light, and your infinite resources. and your source. And be aware of all the possibilities and opportunities that are available to you right now. So sometimes I don't understand things that they write. So I'm just seeing the word England. I don't know why. So I'm just going to say it out loud. And Archangel Michael is present, and he's writing the word confusion. So there might be some confusion. But he's asking you to send out prayers, to call upon him. And there was a word I saw, but I forgot. But just to reach out to Archangel Michael and ask him to place his light around you. And he's writing the word Faust. So, don't get caught up in following crowds, especially things that is just a sense of a lack of clarity, deception. I'm just going to put it that way. That's the way it's coming across. And so just listen to your own heart. Trust your own capabilities. And it's just something about questioning. So don't question so much your the things that are going on around you. You need to really sort of tune in, and be aware of what your inner being is saying to you, even though it may seem like your inner being is contradicting the reality around you and the people around you. Trust what you feel. And I feel like it's just going to be what you feel. Your intuition is going to be so strong and assertive about this, a sense of alignment. And you're just going to have to trust this transmission. And they're writing facts. So I don't know if that's literal, like a fax that comes through, or this is just some kind of transmission of the heart. But just be aware of what you're picking up from other people and how your inner being perceives it, because that's going to be where the truth, the end of the truth, where you need to get this from. Okay. And just seeing some sort of harsh words, and judgment. So don't react. Okay, but respond with love is what they're saying. And so, so they were indicating to me in the meditation a Stargate. They were showing me a Stargate with like stars in a circle. And so something is opening up for us, starting off in this week and for the month of June. And they're writing the word love. And they're writing the word pop as something just might pop up for you. Something, it could be a romance, or it could be an opportunity, something that you've been really hoping for, or something that shows up that's just totally unexpected. So just be open in your heart in this month. Have hope. Don't give up your hope, and really try to be as present. I'm just feeling this energy in my heart chakra. I just feel sort of like this, this split energy, okay? And like emotionally, like this, just almost like this two things. You're vulnerable in this way, maybe more sensitive in this month, and your vulnerability is a gift in a way, because it means you you are always aware. We wouldn't like to be sometimes. We like to be a little less sensitive. We like to just be able to coast as it looks or appears to us that other people don't seem bothered as much as you might feel bothered by things that are occurring around the world and in your communities and the things that are personal things that are going on with you, that you wish you could just ignore your own guidance sometimes because it seems to be pushing you against the grain, of what's going on. And it always seems in our spiritual awareness and our spiritual practice that we're always going against the grain. It's like it can be a little exhausting, and as we're how do you want to say this? But you're always sort of a pioneer in terms of being spiritual, and your spirituality always creates. Always places you out there sort of boldly and very naked in terms of, it's like those dreams you have where you're out there and you have no clothing on and you just feel really exposed, and it's always sort of being in the spotlight, but not in the ways that make you comfortable. And it's very easy to judge yourself and to wrestle with this, because you just can't embrace being yourself, because being ourselves means that we are alone in a way. And it's challenging, and it places a lot of responsibility, and it causes us to question ourselves, our capabilities, and our desires. Because, deep down, we all want approval. We all want to just fit in, and we just want to be happy and, content and peaceful. We don't want to really, be the one sort of ruffling feathers all the time just by being yourself. It's not like to say that you would go out and protest, but you're just being yourself, and even that creates sort of conflict. So don't be overwhelmed by this. And one of the ways is to see this vulnerability, this sensitivity as just an awareness of yourself as a tower of information that is receiving and transmitting signals. And what does this do for you? So it's sort of like you're going to have to really focus on appreciation of what this does for you, to focus on how it gives you that sort of leading edge as it places you out there on the leading edge, but it also gives you that leading edge, that advantage of awareness. And what they were saying about this Stargate, it reminded me now that what it's going to really feel like is that whatever this Stargate represents, it's like stepping out into the unknown. It's like stepping out into the unknown. And perhaps this is going to be around, the practical, the everyday. They mentioned Capricorn. And so this may be dealing with the everyday, the practical, the foundations, the basics, the material realm in terms of, your work, your home, your livelihood, your financial revenue, etc. So there is going to be this unknown period, and this is going to offer you new opportunities for security and safety if you are going to be open to the transformation that is available to you. So this Stargate allows you to step into this unknown sort of untethered. But the thing is that you could rely so much on what was, and not, and because of the loss and the pain of that loss, and not look forward, not to even be present with the information that's coming through your awareness, physically, emotionally, mentally. Being present with all of this might there might be a struggle in all this and a lot of judgment, but if you don't struggle with it and you don't judge it, it becomes discernment, the judgment. And if you don't resist it, it becomes new information, in terms of seeing change in perspective and being aware of details and seeing them in ways that you didn't see them before, so that those details that you're resisting might actually be the gateway to these new opportunities and possibilities that are available for you. So let's take a look and let's see, because they're just really, and I think it's really huge that, there's a window of opportunity there, and you could, be opening your heart in that window. They're writing the word achievements. Could be a doorway or a pathway or a gateway to new achievements, or you could sort of lock yourself in and sort of create this self-imprisonment, where you feel like you can only look out, not get out. So it's really going to depend on you and how open you're going to be to that. All right, so we have the Archangel Raphael and healthy lifestyle. And the thing where I feel that this is really relating to, in context of all of that, is looking at this unknown as a healthy lifestyle. About what's coming forward is that you have to establish the healthy lifestyle for yourself. It's just like the choices of, here we're talking about in the card, the message says eat a healthful diet, go, get adequate sleep, exercise regularly. And it's about looking at your life and everything that you endeavor to fulfill, that it's healthy. Like putting the right food in your body, finding work that you're really aligned with is first healthy. And that's what it means to be spiritual. Always working to balance, don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to make choices that are healthy, that allow you to actually be happy. We keep trying to find happiness sort of in the impossible. And what I mean by that is that everything that's not in alignment for us, we're doing those things that are not in alignment for us because everybody else is doing them. We're following the crowd. And what we really need to be doing is we need to, not try to fit into the world, but we need to try to have the world suit us and our specific needs. You need to think about your emotions as a template for happiness for you. And, think about what would make you happy. It's almost like create this diamond. And on this diamond, you would write the facets of emotions that would fulfill you. And, you may have peace and leave some room in between each one of these. Just create this diamond like a semantic map, or however you want to do it, and divide the circle, or into all these different facets, but leave room, because when you put peace, then you want to have some room around peace for different shades of that, right? Or joy or freedom. Leave room for other words, that emotional components that relate to that. And the idea is that then you start to think about how you can fill in those facets with healthy activities and responsibilities and relationships that give you those. Then get specific about naming what that could possibly look like in a very general sense still, so that you are actually choosing the things in your life that would make you happy. So right now, we feel like we need to have a lot of things because the world is telling us if we don't have them, there's something wrong. But yet, all those things cause you to have to work longer hours, to spend more money, to have your schedule more occupied and less time to dedicate to the things that you're passionate about, or the people that you love, or whether it's family or friends that you enjoy and want more time to be with. So, this is an opportunity for you to make those adjustments now. And to go forward, not feeling always thirsty, always hungry, and unable to satisfy or satiate those feelings, because the feelings that you're choosing aren't the facets of the diamond. The things that you're choosing don't directly relate to the facets of the diamond that would light up for you, that would light that diamond, those facets of that diamond up for you. Once you really link the facets of the emotions that would make you fulfilled and happy in that diamond with the job, the relationship, the friendships, whatever it is, once you do that, you'll find it easier to have a life that feels more in alignment and therefore feels happier. It's not to say you're not going to have challenges, but you notice, like, when you're doing something you really love and you're challenged, it doesn't seem like a struggle. It's more of a challenge. It's not painful. It's not, you're not miserable. You just feel stimulated, challenged, invigorated. And this is the difference. We're not looking for peace in the sense that nothing ever happens. Everything is just, perfect. And this is all these words are just, we really need to be more aware of, sometimes we think, oh, I want peace. And then, do you want that? Do you just want to sit around and do nothing, where nothing happens? Because as long as there's contrast and people, there's always going to be something that is going to create some kind of disruption. But is that a bad thing? If you trust and know that where you are is right for you, then you can just move past that somehow, or you can work around it, and it's worth it and meaningful. All right, so let's continue on and see. I won't hammer that anymore. All right, so for the beginning of the week, we have the Temperance Card. And so that sense of balance and, adjustments and compromise. But this comes through the inner and outer alchemy. I almost want to see, how we usually see these two cups, she's pouring one into the other. And, but what if it really was pouring, if it's that one cup that's your heart, and the other cup is the rewards and achievements that are in alignment with your heart. in the world. So that balance between our our hearts, the inner world and our outer world, and trying to always be aware and make sure that they are harmonious with that rainbow of, and she's standing in this pool of energy, which is like the feelings, and really anchoring in those feelings instead of running away from them, and paying attention to what they are, that they take on sort of this reddish purple energy. It's this magenta sort of spiritual. The soul star chakra is a magenta. So it's all of these gifts, and making sure that your gifts and your purpose matches. You find that balance in the world, but it's not that you try to find balance with the world. You try to find balance with your heart. The world needs to find balance with your heart, and you just have to be brave to be different in your discernment and your choices in this way, because when you do this, all of your choices are healthy. You're choosing that healthy lifestyle. All right, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. And we have the wheel. Okay, so we have two major arcana cards here. We have the wheel, which is commonly known as the Wheel of Fortune. And this just, first of all, this reminds me of that Stargate I was seeing. And it's almost like some of us have the choice to change our destiny. That we're in this time. Is interesting that everything is stopped. So when that happens, that means the machine is no longer perpetuating whatever its function was before. And now you get to make a decision about, before you start that machine up again, before everything starts up again, before you get caught up and just trying to maintain whatever that machine was about, what that old paradigm was about of survival. And this is the difference between the healthy lifestyle and the one we were living. The old one was survival. We were just responding and reacting to everything. This was really looking for love in all the wrong places, because we were starting with the outer reality as the goal versus our heart. And even though this is what has made those of us who have been aware of this, and many people, just because they are not listening to this or any other channel like mine, doesn't mean that they're not spiritual. Everybody struggles with this because they feel the absence. They feel the absence of peace. And peace really means being in alignment with your heart. Peace doesn't mean no more fighting, no more this, no more that. But it can come about when everybody does have peace within their heart. And that means that if everybody has peace within their heart, meaning they're aligned, their lifestyle is aligned with their heart, then there's still going to be diversity and contrast, but we will not fight each other to be like the other. We will not be fighting for everyone to conform to our side, but we'll have acceptance and appreciation for all of the facets of God that exist in the world. Through each one of us is a facet of God. It makes up that entirety of God's being, and so much more we just are not aware of. So this card has given us a sense that we get to start up that wheel, but through this new balance with our heart, that new awareness of getting our lives aligned with our truth. So you may realize, I was earning this much money, and the basics, without all this other stuff, if you've been cutting down on spending because you didn't have the money and you just had to worry about the basics and things like this, you may realize, wow, it's so much nicer to not have this certain things in my life anymore. And maybe it's really worth it if I'm doing something simpler. It may seem that way. And that if I cut back on this and this, just so I can do this and this and that. You know, why was I working? Or why was I putting so much into this? Why was it that I was trying to maintain all of this when it wasn't one of these, some of these things weren't essential, if you know what I mean. All right, and so we have the Eight of Fire, which is showing us something happening very rapidly, something that it could be insights. And so you may have this, as you start to work through this process, you may just have these aha moments, you know, where just like things are just, you know, kind of dropping out of the sky from the universe and just sort of really making contact with you in a very profound way, just helping to shift you, helping to turn that wheel so that in the direction of your own spiritual alignment. All right, so let's take a look. Let me just see if there's any other insights that are coming up about this card. So they're just showing me just sort of like a window, but it was sort of a half window, interestingly enough. And then it kind of opened up to something larger, like a bay window with a balcony. So the sense I get is that at first, all of this process is going to seem like you're going through this you're sort of compromising, and so the window feels very small, feels more constricting, like you can barely see the world out there, and it's going to be like that. And then it's just going to open up, and then there's going to just be this bay window where you have even broader perspective than you had before, and a balcony to be able to stand out and look upon this world and take it and really take it in, so that you'll have time to take life in more, to enjoy it, to the time to smell the roses idea. Okay, but you really have to. Again, it's not going to be easy. It is not going. You're going to have a lot of resistance and a lot of turmoil, because to make this kind of change, after living one way and believing that you need to live that way for so long, it's just going to be, you're not going to deal with this easily. Your ego is going to just really try to rip into you and make you sorry, so to speak. But it will be worth it. And here we have the Two of Water, and we have that the number 2, and that balance. And then we've had this card come up before, and it may have come up in this position from the bottom of the deck, which is just giving us a sense of what's going on underneath and what we're trying to achieve, the goal that will stabilize everything. And this is that balanced relationship between yourself and the things outside of you, and being in the flow of that love, always being under the protection and security, and being showered continuously with that alignment of love that new alignment of love that you found. And so this is really, really important, what this card is suggesting, and what this might mean for you if you're open to this. So this Stargate, I'm not sure when they mean when these show up, but I get a sense that it's something that's opening up. It's there for you. You can go through the Stargate. I was assuming if all of a sudden we were out in space and the Stargate just opens up, you could decide that you're going to go through it or you're not. So like with all things, this is a choice that you're going to have to make. But the great news is that the universe is giving you this opportunity. All right? And I'm seeing Archangel Michael right now. And so he's saying he can give you the courage to to really step through this. So please speak with him, ask him to help boost your confidence and to help you to feel a sense of inner peace about this. All right, and Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael work so much hand in hand. So also asking Archangel Raphael, because he has been known to help people with going on journeys and making these kinds of very difficult choices and moving on that journey and helping you to heal along the path as you proceed. So it's really important here. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and thank you for joining us this week. And everyone, have a beautiful and prosperous week, and be compassionate with yourself. God bless you.